Merlin 3D, transforming 2D images into 3D images. Hey everybody, my name is John Capobianco and I'm going to show you, again, I'm not an expert at Blender by any means, but I have learned and figured out watching a few different tutorials, and I'll Google and show you the main one you should watch, how to take a two-dimensional image and bring it into a three-dimensional world. I've done this with the Merlin logo, and I'll show you that, and then we'll start from scratch with a 2D image. So let me open up my logo that I've made, and it's logo blend here. And if I turn on the rendering, we have the lighting system, but in the black and white, you can see that I've started with, I will show you here, where's my Merlin logo, this PNG file, and made this three-dimensional image from it, including, look at the holes in particular. The shading works inside of them. In these creases here, all the shading works with the lighting system, especially once I turn that on. The reflection, because I've made it metallic and smooth. Really neat, really interesting. So let's try to make a new one that I can add to this. I'm going to make a new file. The other thing I'll show you is, while I'm here, I'm going to open up my I/O package and render that and unrender it. Now you can see here I have this. Now if you look real closely here, I have, let me turn on the view here. I have this, and it's so small you'll never see it. I'll never be able to zoom in. If you can imagine a tiny version of this here in the center anchored. It's a link to the object, and then we make a proxy to that link, because the original link, I'll show you here, you see how this is all grayed out? I can't change anything about it. I can't move it or scale it or put it right. So I make a proxy out of it, and then I can manipulate the proxy. So let's start a new blend from scratch here, general, and I'm just going to hit A to select everything and delete to delete everything. And we're going to do File, Import from SVG. Now, I want to make something clear here. Do I still have the page up? No. All right, so here's what I've done. I've gone and found the pyATS logo, which I'll show you. It looks like this. Now, what's very important, this is the PNG. I want these holes, all these holes, to render as holes, as gaps, as clear spaces. So the online rendering tool that we select, if I go to my history, it should be here. The one I recommend is this one that I found, png to svg.com, and then you just drag and drop your file. Now you see the checkerboard, that's the clearness, the circles, the holes. So when we make an SVG out of it, we want to make sure that we have those holes. Otherwise, you'll have problems. And I went through problems all morning because my render was bad. So now what we're going to do, and I'll show you this, if I go to where's my converted, oh, in downloads. This here is the SVG, and you can see that like all the holes and gaps are nice and clear. So let's bring that into the world of Blender. So we're going to say File, Import from the SVG file, and it happens to be, I have it in Automate Your Network. No, Downloads. I haven't saved it specifically yet. So now it's going to appear really small. Like that worked. You can see I have this image vector, and I can rename this if I want to, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paths, and these are all what's known as curves. You can see the shape here. These are curves. So if we zoom all the way in here, there's that pie, and it's shiny, right? And it has a reverse side, and it's really neat. And you can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the other elements here? Right, so all of those different things. Now what we need to do is convert it From curves to mesh. Now let me see if I can do this in one shot. I'm not sure. So A to select all of them, or if we click away, A selects them all, and we want to go to Object, Convert to Mesh. And you'll see here the icon here has changed from curve to mesh. So now we're going to make them all one file because we don't want to deal with them individually. So A and then Control J, and you'll see they've all collapsed into one object that I'm going to call, right, pyATS logo. So just so we're clear here. Now I don't know that I can rename this. I don't know. I'll worry about that later. Doesn't matter. The important thing is now that I have this. So now I can hit Tab A to select them all, E to extrude, and I'm going to hit Z. Whoops, Z. You see the blue line? That's to make sure I'm going to scale the whole thing together on the Z axis. And we can make this outrageously big. Let's just make it moderately big, and then we tab away. And now we have the pyATS logo in 3 dimensions, right? And we can, if we go around to the other side of it, we can see, how do I get to the other side of it? Right, that it does have a back side. I've completely lost it now. But we can, yeah, I see how it's upside down, the reverse of it. And, right, full 3 dimensions. And let's get back around to the front of it. And, right. So now what I want to do, you'll notice that it's anchored. If I try to move it or rotate it, let's say, you see how it's anchored at that corner there? Right? So I'm going to hit Escape. Let's move it to the center. So we're going to hit Object, Set Origin, Origin to 3D Cursor. And now I believe if we rotate, no, I did the wrong thing. Object, Set Origin, Origin to Geometry. Yes, that's better. Now, if we rotate it, you see it's the center of the object. And we have this nice 3-dimensional pyATS logo. Pretty cool, right? So now we, if I render it, it's all dark now because I don't have any lighting systems or any backgrounds or anything. But I have this object that I can pull into my other logo. So let me save this as, I'm going to take a screenshot of this as well. But now let me show you how to link this and bring it into my other blend. So I'm going to say File, Save As, and I'm going to call this pyATS logo. And I'm going to save it twice and make a backup in case anyone wants to play with the original or contribute to this in any way. We're going to call this backup, and then let me save. And now, okay, so now I have this available. And let's bring it into my other world. So let's do File, Open, and we're going to open up the Management I/O blend. All right? And in the Management I/O blend, I'd like to place it here. So I have to move this a bit, and I'm just going to move it to say -10. And then when I'm now I'm going to say File, Link, and I'm going to link it to the pyATS logo blend, into the objects, and into the pyATS logo. So now I don't need this. I'm going to hide it. I don't want that. So now I need to make an object. I want to select it though. And make an object relation make proxy. So now, object relations make proxy. Okay, make a proxy. So now I have the proxy. So let me just take a quick look at this one. This is at -10, and it's 5 meters tall, rotated 90 degrees. All right, so then if I go here and make, where's my proxy rather? Make this -10 minus, say, 5, and then, how big did I say, 5? What was the other one? -10, -10, 5, 50, 50, 50. Okay, it's not big enough yet. I have to make it bigger. So 50, 50, 50. Yeah, there's the logo. It's sort of to the side. I want it down here. So let's just play with the placement of it. So what 0? Okay, so 0 is that plane. So let's say -2. No, it needs to be the same distance. -10 right on top of it. And then this location -5, okay. And then the rotation is 90. No, whoops. The other one, this one, 90. Now, I have these two logos. Now, it's not quite, what's not right here? -10, -5. Seems to be off on which axis? The x-axis? No. Oops. Ah, -5. Let's make it -10. 10.5. How about that? Pretty good, pretty neat, right? And now I have this, and I could add, powered by, which is what I'm going to do to this, but not in this file. I'm going to go to this blend and add the text powered by in front of it, or maybe above it, so that I could line these up. All right, so and then if I turn the lighting system on, right, we have the lighting system. And let me just make this nice and big so everyone can appreciate what we've just made here. And the lighting system isn't very flattering to my logos. So if I just hide this light, maybe. See, I can make it dark or change the light to be maybe just clear, like white, instead of yellow. Pretty neat stuff, though. And there's a pyATS logo for the community. So I'm going to save this. File save as my backup. Management backup. And then let me open my logo. Let me open my pyATS. Pretty interesting. A whole new 3D world. So I hope you're finding these interesting and exciting, and stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching.